On September 20th of the lunar calendar, year 2014, Chen Wenhai, who is known for having the best handwriting in the village, writes the honor roll in the Furong Village Committee office. The honor roll was a list of 16 students in the village who were admitted to college in 2014. Every year, when the honor roll is posted, the village band beats drums and strikes gongs around the village. This is a huge honor for those families with a child entering college and a source of enlightenment. Furong Pavilion is the heart of the village and is the most populated area. All honor rolls are posted here. This is also where other children begin their journey in fulfilling their dreams. There are over 400 families in the small village of Furong, and 10 to 20 students from here go to college every year. The tradition of valuing education and farming has kept this village prosperous. After the honor roll is posted, a solemn ceremony of ancestor worship follows. At the break of dawn, their book of genealogy, which is normally stored in the old house, is carried outside along with the village treasures. They are all taken to the biggest ancestral hall. Hanging the 18 golden belts scroll is necessary before beginning the ceremony. It comprises 3 800-year-old portraits that have been passed down from the Southern Song dynasty. In these portraits are painted 18 robed men from Furong village who all held office in court at the same time. They were the ancestors of the Chen family, as well as the village's representatives in its cultural heyday. Villagers also worship the golden seals and jade tablets, which are said to have been left behind by the 18 officials. These are the village treasures, inherited 700 or 800 years ago. The formal ceremony starts with the full-length drama Fighting the 8 Immortals. In the play, immortals gather to sing and dance while praying for the village. The last act in the play is the wedding ceremony. As firecrackers are lit, 2 top scholars come off the stage with their wives and worship their ancestors before the wedding ceremony begins. In China, getting married and passing the government examination are the 2 greatest achievements in life. These also reflect the pursuit of the villagers in establishing themselves through education and reproduction. Establishing oneself through education is the theme for every sacrifice. Everyone is solemn during the worship. The opening of the casket containing the book of genealogy and the reading of the family instructions are highly anticipated and praised by the villagers. 70-year-old Chen Linhua is the editor of this ancient treasure and has an honorable reputation in the village. He leads the reading of family instructions, and then another man of remarkable conduct reads after him.
Even the poor should be unsullied. No one should do anything shameful to humiliate their family and taint their reputation.
Any member of the clan who studies shall study hard and will always strive for achievements. Farmers and merchants shall be hardworking to acquire property.
Part of Chinese tradition is offering sacrifices, made to maintain the relationship between descendants and their ancestors. Every year, after the examination scores are revealed, villagers make an honor roll and hold a ceremony emphasizing the importance of education and farming. It's special and rare and shows how much attention has been paid to farming and studying in this millennial-old village. Located in Yongjia, Furong village lies along the middle of the Nanxi River. It's an ancient village inhabited by the Chen family. Yongjia had talented people since ancient times. The calligraphy master Wang Shiji and the nature poet Xi Lingyun both served as the magistrate of Yongjia. In the last years of the Tang dynasty, The ancestors of the Chun family wandered around Kaifang before finally settling down in Furong village.
Prestigious families from the Central Plains arrived, bringing their own culture, which was later inherited by the locals after they settled here. People here value education, and farming is the root of human survival. How can we continue living if we don't farm? It's impossible. Now, studying is the root of proper behavior. A man will behave himself if he never studied.
Farming is the root of survival, and studying is the root of proper behavior. The ancestors of the Chun family paid special attention to the role studying plays in developing the family. It is evident in both the village's location and layout. This is Furong Peak. It is beautiful, like a lotus. Look at these two peaks alone. They look like a black gauze cap and a giant penholder. Together with the Nanxi River below, they create an image of a belt in the front and a gauze cap at the back. This is believed to help members of the family study. When we enter Furong village, we first walk on Rui Street, which looks like a brush pen. Furong Peak is behind the village and acts as the pen holder for the giant brush pen. The distribution of the village wells is specially designed too. 5 are used for daily activities. Along with 3 ponds and 7 stone stairs, they also form a mysterious image called the 7 stars and 8 dippers.
So this pond you see beside me is one of what we call 8 dippers. When you come to this place, it can be found in the most central part of the village. We imagine it was formed particularly because of how the village was planned. The 8 dippers are used to reserve water. It also signifies a reservoir of talents. It indicates that talented descendants will come in large numbers, just like the stars.
The concept of valuing education and innate talents has gradually been inculcated within the village and has been integrated into the villagers' daily lives. In China, farming and studying are traditions in many ancient villages. They are considered the driving force that maintains the rise of families in Furong village. Every year, the villagers formally pass on these traditions by holding special sacrificial activities. After those activities, Chen Changnan, a member of the village committee, registers the acceptance letters and other information of the new college students and keeps them in the archives. He has been doing this since 1997.
We had a tradition here in Furong village. We awarded the new students with fields to plow in the past, but now they can get scholarships. Sentiandan sponsored us. Poor students with high scores can get rewarded for their achievements. Sentiandan sent us 100,000 yuan, which we used to set up an education foundation.
This is Chan Tian Hung. He is 85 years old. His older brother, Chan Tiandan, is a college professor in Taiwan. In 1997, he donated 100,000 yuan to set up an education foundation for the village.
He used the money to encourage students.
Receiving education is his family's tradition. My father's older brother had 3 sons and 1 daughter. His sons graduated from Whampoa Military Academy. He has a son-in-law who also graduated there.
Chan Tiandan is from a family of literary scholars. To them, studying is a major life event affecting their family's fate. When Chan Tianhang had no money, he refused to use what his brother gave him. Instead, he donated the money to the village's scholarship fund.
With the scholarship fund, more students will help develop the village. He didn't keep the money.
With the scholarship fund, we create more students, and that benefits the whole clan, yes?
During the 17 years since its establishment, the Chen Tiandan Scholarship Fund has subsidized 268 students. Some of them are now successful in their work and have begun to repay the village. Chen Guangmiao graduated from the College of Optical Science and Engineering in Zhejiang University. Because he came from a low-income family, he was awarded the scholarship twice.
In 1998 and
Chen Guangmiao
2002.
and Chen Qizhong.
That was when you went to Zhejiang University?
Yes.
Your score was 626?
He was #1 in Yongzhou County.
In 1998, I went to Zhejiang University.
You had 600 yuan.
600
Yes, the scholarship wasn't too much at that time.
The money wasn't enough to pay his tuition, but he has never forgotten how getting the scholarship motivated him. Chen Guangmiao eventually became successful at work, and in 2013, donated 100,000 yuan to the scholarship fund. He wants to pay it forward so the tradition may live on.
How much can a student get, and how do you decide?
We didn't have much last year, but Chen Guangmiao donated 100,000 yuan. Now we have more. We can share the interest. There's 1,500 yuan for each postgraduate student. It may be more this year. We can grant more money. As for bachelor's degree students, we give them 1,000 yuan. Yes, and then for PhD students, we give them about 20,000 yuan. Money doesn't matter here, but the spirit does. We think it's an effective climate for learning, especially when students compete with each other. They don't simply learn for the money.
Chen Jizhong is Chen Guangmiao's father. He raised 4 children. 2 went to college. Life used to be very hard for them. Now, with his children all grown up, they give him 3,000 yuan per month for living expenses. He is used to farming and doesn't like to rest. He packs sweet potatoes for his son to bring back to Hangzhou. He also gives fresh fruits and vegetables every season to his children, so they won't forget what it tastes like. A gentle reminder of their past and family heritage. For years, villagers have carried on their tradition on a land with 70% mountains, 10% water, 10% fields, and 10% roads and houses. The old beliefs that farming and studying run in the family and that studying benefits mankind have a profound effect on the villagers. Scholars believe that farming and studying are inextricably linked.
Farming was the foundation governing the state of ancient China. It's the career of traditional Chinese people, but they studied to cultivate their minds and improve themselves. And the more they live out this tradition, the Chinese can create the perfect lifestyle, just like Tao Yuanming, Xie Lingyun, and many other people. When farming, they're one with nature. They could also study while they work. They read about Chinese culture and tradition, and eventually it becomes a habit. The advantage of this is that farming and studying has lasted for years. Anyone who devotes himself to this habit will always persevere.
There is a centuries-old custom in Furong village known as boiling the golden seal. The golden seal was passed down from the end of the Southern Song dynasty. It is said that boiling this, along with a local plant, Murdania trichetra, can help children get over a shock and get those who don't feel like studying to calm down and read. Because it affected the children's health, the custom was abolished. However, this shows that they encourage studying and punish laziness.
Flowers bloom among bizarre rocks with florid pistils. With a call, everyone gathers in the village, old and young alike. The children are cute and lively.
The man singing is 90-year-old Chen Guangcheng. This cheerful song was the original anthem of Furong School. 70 to 80 years ago, the teachers already made it a point to develop their students' independent learning ability.
A topic was given for a particular lesson. Students should study based on that topic and also on its central idea.
When Chen Guangcheng studied in Furong School, he was especially scared of this room, the Aiji Hall. It was, in fact, a punishment room. Here, students who did not like studying or made mistakes would be hit on their palms as punishment. The room is no longer in use, but has been retained as a reminder to encourage children to study hard.
Teachers punishing students wasn't the goal in IG Hall. Now we don't advocate corporal punishment or even severe ones. It is meant for student reflection. We ask students to sit there and reflect on themselves and their actions. After realizing their mistakes, they think about it. Then they figure out their own strengths, their own weaknesses, so that they may improve themselves. A man's achievements depend on two aspects: developing what's good and discarding evil. We should do more good deeds as much as we can and gradually discard all of our bad habits. But the thing is, we must know right from wrong. IG warns all students about one thing: they must remove what is wrong and what is evil after acknowledging its presence.
IG Hall is part of Furong School, which was first built in the Southern Song Dynasty. Although a village school, experienced scholars taught here. As recorded in the annals of Yongjia County, Furong School was known for its education, making people respect teachers and making children value their studies. The school's location shows how much the villagers treasure it. Furong School lies at the center of the village, with Furong Peak in the west and the largest and most important Furong Pond among the 7 stars and 8 dippers in the east. What is remarkable is if Ruyi Street is seen as a brush pen, then Furong School would be its tip. For centuries, Furong School produced great talents, including a top scholar, 22 successful candidates, and over 100 certificated students. Chan Fuliang, a representative figure of Yongjia School, was one of them. During the Republic of China, 18 students were admitted to the Whampoa Military Academy. From the steels, Minglun Hall, loyalty and integrity, emulating better men, and IG Hall, we know that the core of the tradition, farming and studying in the family, lies in being reasonable, learning from wise men, and abandoning evil and doing good. The cultivation of morals at Furong School has been integrated into the villagers' daily lives for thousands of years.
Whether you are young or old, there are rules for everyone. There's a rule for washing one's face. Younger men should wash after their elders, and the rules are not all the same. Like in one family, they should hold the bowl when they eat. If they don't hold the bowl, it means no food for them. Now, what should they do when they are finishing their meal? They should eat such that when they are done, the bowl is clean, as if it were just washed. No rice should be left in your bowl. Other leftovers are okay, but rice must be finished. That is a rule. Whether in a village or in a large family, it actually doesn't matter. The children are all taught values in this way. They are taught to behave themselves first.
20-year-old Chan Shinbo is reading the genealogy in a traditional way. He is the 41st generation of the Chan family. Because he respects his ancestors and tradition, he has found himself a special name, Fang Xiao. In his spare time, he studies the genealogy with Chan Linhua. According to statistics, there have been almost 300 officials from Furong village. The highest position was the senior chancellor of the Southern Song Dynasty. 18 officials were honored as the 18 Golden Belts. But it was not just because of their achievements.
They were honest and honorable men, especially during their terms in office, which is the reason why they were awarded with golden belts by the emperor. Official belts around the waist and golden belts on the chest. Over there, we can still see this on the old map.
Being an official after studying for years was the ideal situation in ancient China. But villagers in Furong village had nobler pursuits. They wanted to be incorruptible officials, to bravely face any national crisis. Furong village produced many loyal courtiers and generals, including Chen Yuji, who died for the country at the end of the Southern Song Dynasty, and Chen Shigang, who died in the anti-Japanese war. They benefited from growing up in Furong village, where attention was paid to developing moral integrity. Even the villagers' concept of marriage has been influenced. The couplet written on the pillars of the old house was for a marriage in this family last year. On both sides it reads, "Marry talented men and marry virtuous women." Fields of jade in front of the house, the flowers on all the trees bloom. It is clear that moral integrity, farming, and studying are greatly valued in Furong village. There are similar rules in the family instructions. Wealth should not be prioritized. Developing character and family values should come first.
First, he must have good moral character, and second, he should study well. This means someone should be judged based on their moral character instead of on their wealth, or even on the power that they have. Having these values guarantees the permanence of the entire family. It's because good character becomes the permanent foundation of both the individual and, of course, the family.
Furong village has been developing for thousands of years and is still full of vigor because of its people's traditions. In this quiet ancient village, we can see how literature has kept these customs alive. It has become an ideal place for people to settle down. And so some have returned to the village in hopes of rediscovering their cultural heritage, and in the process, end up finding their values in life. Chen Xiaojiang, who is 52 years old, opens a 20-meter scroll and writes the biography of Lian Po and Lin Xiangru with a brush pen. He does this on weekends because the children don't go to school and so have the chance to watch him writing. He hopes to arouse their interest in traditional culture this way because this is how he grew up, and he feels this has helped him. This is Chen Xiaojiang's old house. For decades, more than 20 college students have been produced in this small yard. In 1978, Chen Xiaojiang failed the college entrance exam when he got a score of 32 in Chinese. He was deeply saddened by this, but in the spirit of village tradition, he shifted course and was determined to succeed in literature. In the next decade, Chen Xiaojiang worked and taught himself. He ran a repair depot out of the village, and he worked in Changzhou, Beijing, and other cities. He went through so much, but he insisted on improving himself in literature. He failed to find a breakthrough for his literary dream. In 1998, he went back to Furong village and found a new understanding of the ancient place, the quiet village, the profound traditions, and the old men with their stories. All these provided direction for his writing. He planned to write a book about Furong village, focusing on the local stories.
I haven't written a full-length novel before. I plan to write a novel of 500,000 words. I have made up my mind, and I am really determined to reach that number. When I first started writing, I felt all this information and knowledge rushing to me like tide water. It felt a lot like that. So I decided to write. I decided to record everything faithfully. Maybe I could serve as a link between the past and the future.
It took 10 years before the history of Furong village was published. There are 6 volumes, including Searching Origin, Seeking Fortune, and Returning Home. It tells a story where villagers pass trials, refuse to be corrupted, and survive in a period of change. It is also an encyclopedia of the histories, customs, and people of Furong village. Through the books, people remember the people of Furong village because of their exemplary spirit. The village, being 14 hectares wide and housing only 1,000 villagers, has been prosperous for thousands of years, and so has its literature. Scholars believe it's because villagers never forget their roots.
When we look back on our culture, we still feel very close to home because our culture represents two things we're capable of, and it's also because of us. Nature and pastoralism are part of our roots, while the root of culture lies in the traditions. The actions we come back to in relation to farming and studying indicate the homesickness that we now have for the culture, as well as our roots.
Chen Guangmiao is still working hard in the city. He hopes to encourage students in both education and farming through his next donation. Whereas Chen Xiaojiang still lives in the village and spends his time collecting old wood carvings. He's preparing for his next masterpiece. Located in the central part of the village, Furong School is still a spiritual home for children. On weekends, children 8 or 9 years old study the classics, like the 3-character canon, to better themselves. The people of Furong Village are determined to pass on the importance of farming and studying to future generations.
依然在盼。